Strap in your legends. We're in Golf Tango India Victor Victor today, a lovely little Eurostar EV 97, heading from Perth to Kingsmuir, all for a fish supper. I'm flying with Allan today. He's the pilot, so I'm not the pilot in command today, but I'm still working on getting my license revalidated. But I'm currently a co-pilot on this run, and this is also the aircraft I'm buying into, so consider this a little sneak peek at my future wings. I'm just arriving into Perth. It's a cracking day today, and the wind sock actually looks like it's going to be runway 09 for takeoff. So we're going to fly out, do a touch and go, and then we're going to head off to Kingsmuir for fish and chips. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. I'm Richie, paramotor nut, private pilot in the making, and soon to be co-owner of this wee beauty, Golf Tango India Victor Victor. Today we're off on a cracking short hop, Perth Airport to Kingsmuir, grass strip just near Forfar for some top drawer fish and chips. I'm sat on the right seat today, not quite revalidated yet, so I'm still brushing the rust off after a long break, but it's all coming back. This flight's a confidence booster and a proper reminder of why I love aviation. So we're lined up on runway 09 at Perth. Bit of a crosswind, but nothing she can't handle. I'm handling the radios and the nav stuff. Left seat is taking us up today, that is Allan. So the power's now on, airspeed's now building, and we're just getting airborne, that's us. Off 09 with a smooth climb out. Honestly, that moment is absolutely amazing. So we're going to climb out straight ahead, and around 300 foot we'll check the engine temperatures and pressures are all in green. Around 600 to 700 foot we'll begin a gentle left turn onto the crosswind leg, and we're going to maintain about 70 knots in the climb. Then we'll begin our crosswind leg turn through 020, still climbing, get up to about 1,000 feet, which is the circuit height, level off at 1,000 feet, set the cruise power to around 4,900 RPM, trim the aircraft and maintain 70 knots. Look for traffic all the time, especially on the downwind. Keep the runway threshold in your rear left window to judge the spacing. And then on the downwind leg, you've got to call Golf Victor Victor, downwind 09, touch and go. Begin the downwind checks. I normally use bump chicle, BUMFICHCL. So brakes, undercarriage, mixture is rich. Landing lights on, carbate back off, landing lights on again. Always keep your downwind leg on your left hand side, so you know that you're straight and level with that runway that you're going to land on, and just keep your eyes on it until you start making your base leg turn and your descent. Now you're on base and you're turning left through 180 degrees. Reduce the power to around 3,200 RPM. Let the nose drop to begin the gentle descent. Set the first stage of flap as long as you're in the white arc. And then the second stage of flap, you can either do that on your base or on finals. Speed 65 to 70 knots. Descend to around 500 foot AGL and keep the runway threshold inside of your left nose corner. While you're on final approach, turn onto final and line up visually with a centre line. Confirm with the tower you're on finals and confirm the runway 09, and then check the landing lights are on, etc. And then focus on your 65 mile an hour and concentrate keeping that in the middle, the centre of the runway, ready to land. So the touch and go procedure is flaps up immediately, full power smoothly, monitor the instruments and rotate again around 55 knots and climb out on the runway 09 heading. From now on we're off to Kingsmuir. The flight itself, it's only about 20-25 minutes from Perth to Kingsmuir. So there's our route on the screen. Just avoiding any sort of CTAs and traffic zones, and there's also mats, so we've avoided Lucas there on our left, and then we've worked out that we're going to be landing on runway 06, which is a right hand approach. So we're flying around 2,600 feet, heading southeast towards Kingsmuir. Absolutely, visibility is absolutely cracking. You can see all the way to the coast and beyond. So this little beauty we're flying, Victor Victor, is a Eurostar EV 97, powered by a Rotax 912S, and she flies like a dream, light, responsive and easy to trim out for the hands of flying. I'm buying into a 50-50 share with Howard. I'm buying the share off Allan, who I'm flying with just now, and this is my first proper trip with him in the cockpit. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better intro flight into a syndicate ownership. Great company, good aircraft, and even better destination. Now, just for anyone new to the channel, I originally got my PPL back in 2001, but I let myself lapse around 2011 due to work commitments. So I've been back in the seat recently doing refresher training, getting the rust off, and I have been quite rusty, by the way, to start with, after all that time off. But I've now been sort of landing and taking off on my own, and I'm feeling a lot more confident. And I just need a few more flights, and then hopefully I'll solo again properly after I'm back from my rotation where I work, and being in the right seat today, talking through the flight, doing the radios and the planning. It's all part of the polish. So we've got Kingsmuir in sight now, and we can smell them fish and chips. We're joining right hand circuit for runway 6. It's a little grass strip, there's no tower, just blind calls and courtesy. The windsocks are lined up lovely. Allan's setting us up for a nice gentle descent, right base final, and there we go. We'll be down on 06 like butter on toast. Kingsmuir never disappoints. That's us on final approach now, just ready to land on 06. So let's get parked up and the brakes on, and now it's time for the serious business, fish and chips. One of the best things about flying in Scotland, you can land somewhere like this and walk off for a proper chippy. We're talking golden crispy haddock, fresh chips, and an Irn-Bru chaser. Honest to God, Michelin stars should be given out at airfields like this. Absolutely awesome. days like this remind you exactly why we fly. Just a short hop, but it felt magic, sharing the cockpit, learning more about the aircraft I'm buying into, and getting that confidence back before my final revalidation flights. Massive thanks to Allan for the flight, the wisdom and the chips. Can't wait to start flying this little rocket solo and racking up the adventures. If you like this little trip, hit that like button and subscribe. There's lots more coming now that I'm getting back into powered flying alongside the paramotor stuff. Comment below where we should fly next, especially if it involves scran, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, keep flying, and never say no to a fish supper. Thanks for watching. 21.5, 25, Perth, Kingsmuir.